Hi, this is Sasha from the autismhelper.com, and this is a product preview of my Level Daily Work Level 4. So if you're familiar with the other Level Daily Works, it's set up in the same system, just with different content. If you're not familiar, I'll give you a quick rundown on how it's set up. So this can be utilized as a daily bell ringer, an independent center, a paraprofessional run center. It's great because it's set up for the whole year. As you can see, there's 183 pages. There's 180 work pages, so one for every different day of the year. The reason that I love this resource so much and the setup of it is that the structure stays the same every day. So once you teach your student how to do this activity, they don't need to relearn it every day. There's just new content every day. The prep is extremely easy because there's one student page a day that you have to photocopy, but you can photocopy literally copies for the whole year, put them in their binder, and they're done. So also a lot of accommodations to make this a very low ink and low prep activity because you can display the work pages on a smartboard, on an iPad, or you can just print them. So there's a lot of kind of options within that as well. So this is the student response page. So it's double-sided, and this is where they're going to fill in all of the answers based on the work page. So there's a bunch of different sections that correspond with sections on the work page. So first section is emotion of the day. So there's an emotion listed of the day. They have to describe the emotion and then explain the time they felt this emotion, what you did, why did you say that. Then comparing and contrast, there'll be two different items that the student has to compare and contrast every day and talk about things that are specific to each item and then as what they have in common. And then this section I love. I'll show you the examples in a second. The silly sentence section looks at inferencing skills. So there's a sentence with a nonsense word. They need to infer based on the context clues of that sentence what the nonsense word could mean, why you think that, and then use the nonsense word in a new sentence. So it really takes inferencing beyond just using context clues, but then applying those context clues to your own sentence. So super great practice here. Then there'll be a simile, a metaphor, an idiom. They have to explain the meaning and then using in a new sentence. So again, taking it that one step farther. This is level 4. So we're really looking at making these skills harder, looking at generalization, looking at applied use, and really kind of upping the ante with all of the skills we've previously been working on. Then there are 4 daily grammar questions to respond to. The grammar is focused around irregular terms. It's focused around correct verb tenses, things like that, so a little bit more advanced subjects as well. Then there'll be 2 definitions. Students need to write there'll be 2 vocabulary words. Students have to write the definition and use it in a sentence. In this set, there is also an anchor chart that shows how to look things up online. It's not in this PDF, but it's on the PDF on TPT. There's an anchor chart you can post because some of this might not be information they know, so they might have to go look up that word online. That's great. That's like part of the goal for me is getting kids to be problem solvers and figure out the answer themselves. So if they don't know the vocabulary word, no problem, go look it up online. So that's this section. There's a math word problem, space to figure it out, and then a daily math problem. The math in this series is focused on triple digit addition and subtraction, double or triple, with and without regrouping. And then students have to write a story with 2 specific story elements. So let's go through kind of what the content is. So for example, here's an emotion of the day, embarrassed or angry or surprised. So students will have to write what that emotion means and then apply it to different scenarios. Then compare and contrast. Students have to compare and contrast winter and spring, roses and dandelions, grass and dirt, mountains and fields. The silly sentence is where we're going to practice that inferencing skill I talked about. There were only 2 more Twizzies to cook for dinner, so inferring what that means. Why do you think it's a food? How could you use this in another sentence? A simile and a metaphor, looking up what that means if you don't know what that means online. 4 daily grammar questions, 2 vocabulary words. The vocabulary words are mostly focused around 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade vocabulary words, but I really tried to focus on ones that were functional and would commonly come up in text that students have exposure to. Word problems are focused around addition and subtraction. In the second series, the second half, as you go farther down each page, they do get a little bit more challenging with 2 steps. The math problem and then the story. So the students have to select a story topic and then include these 2 these two components. This one has to include an ant who's adventurous. This story needs to include a hot air balloon, and the setting is at sunset. Here, the setting is a Halloween party, and the plot is a costume contest. So they have to include these two story elements. So like I said, 180 pages, one for every day of the week. I've seen teachers do really cool things with these work pages. You can display these on the smartboard. You can pull these up on the iPad. If you utilize a tech opportunity like that, there's literally zero prep with this activity. You print the student response page and photocopy it. It takes like 2 seconds, and you're set for the year. And it's this whole series of activities that includes a lot of different skills, a lot of different subjects, a lot of different concepts. My favorite way to use this was to have students do this independently on their own, and then we corrected it together. And there was just so much great learning, and I was really, really excited to take this to kind of the level 4 level and make it a harder version of level 3 with a lot of new great skills. If you have the bundle of 1, 2, 3, unfortunately this is not included in the bundle. When I made the bundles, I really just planned on including 3 levels, but had so many requests for level 4 that I made this. So this is separate than the bundle. So if you have this bundle, this will be an additional resource. So if you have any questions, please contact me at theautismhelper.com.